Hey, Drive Tribe, Migz here, and I'm with
Did you forget? Rod Emory?
Rod Emory.
How's it going? Good to see everybody.
Where are we?
We're at Amelia Island. In my opinion, one of the best events in the country. You know, even though I'm from California, it's a great time to, come over here and enjoy Florida weather. What? Yeah?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm sorry. What are you doing here, man? Are you showing a car?
So last year we brought the 356 SL, I brought the all-wheel drive 356, and we had a couple other cars that were here for the Works reunion, and we just spectated at the Amelia Island Concours. But when I was here last year, we did an interview at the Works reunion, and John Oates from the band Hall & Oates was with me, and we talked about a car that we were building for him.
Okay.
And Chris Brewer and Bill Warner that put on the Amelia Island Concours asked if we would consider bringing it to the Concours for this year. And even though I'm not really a Concours guy, I mean, as far as like building cars to be judged, I really build cars to be driven.
Yeah.
But this was a special display that they curated, and it's called Cars of the Rock Stars, and it's a great selection of cars. These first two cars, the MG and also the Emory Outlaw that I built for John Oates. They both have John's guitars displayed with the cars. And then as you kind of go down the line, there's a GT3R Van Halen themed car with a guitar. There's Janis Joplin's car. There's some Elvis stuff. There's a bunch of just really cool cars on display in this display called Cars of the Rock Stars. It's cars and guitars on display, and it was just a really cool thing to be a part of this year.
We're going to take a look at those cars, although he's pointing them out, but there's like nothing but the lake, so we'll take a look at those. No, that's cool. But you were presenting as well. You were presenting awards.
Yeah, so yesterday, the Amelia Island Concours did their Cars and Coffee on Saturday, which is always the day before the Concours, which is a little bit more low-key. It's, people drive their cars in and just really display them and show them to everybody. And so they asked me to give away an award for, my favorite outlaw here. Now, traditionally, everybody thinks of me as the Porsche guy, and because it really, I tell everybody I'm not really a car guy, I'm a Porsche guy, because I'm so hyper-focused on the brand. But I also can appreciate, craftsmanship and design and quality of, some of the other cars that people have built. And so there were hundreds of cars here yesterday, and there was a car that just stuck out to me. It was a 61 190 SL Mercedes that was wrapped over a 2004 600 SL. Really kind of a cool car that was proportionally done really well. A guy named Richard Mott and his wife were here, and they were displaying the car. Kind of a cool thing to tie into the whole Rockstars thing is that as I was talking to him, I also found out that the donor car that he used for the 600 SL was Richard Carpenter's personal car from the Carpenters. So that was kind of a cool, little trivia thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I gave away an award for a car yesterday. We also, in my shop, Chris Greenwood, that does a lot of the digital design stuff with me, also kind of our resident watch nerd. So the what we gave away as the award for our Outlaw Award was an intermediate gear for a 911 that was turned into a clock. And a couple nights before that, we built a clock that was made out of the 11-blade 911 fan with a clock in the center of it, and that was auctioned off at the Guardians of Porsche dinner. The cool part about it was that there were 12 Porsche drivers in attendance. Hurley Haywood, Derek Bell, Jack Eakes, Chip Robinson, all these guys that were there at the dinner, and they all signed the fan blades. So it was a clock that was signed by 12 of the most amazing Porsche drivers of all time.
So did you bid to get it back?
I did bid, but it got a little rich for my blood. It ended up auctioning off for $9,011, which was pretty cool. And all that money went to benefit the local Jacksonville and area charities that Amelia Island Concours supports. So that was fun. And then there were a couple other cool things that took place this weekend that not everybody knows about. There were two special guitars that were painted for the Concours. One of them was painted by a guy, David Schneider, an amazing artist, and he painted, so it was a Fender guitar that had every one of these cars painted in a mural on the guitar, and that was auctioned off at RM. And then there was another one that was painted of John Oates' car that was auctioned off last night at the gala that brought $8,000 for charity. So there was a lot of really cool things that surrounded this Cars of the Rock Stars exhibit, and just really stoked to be a part of it.
we had no questions prepared, so I don't know where all this is coming from. We was just supposed to say, hey, how's it going? But no, seriously, Rod, what was the name of the award that you handed out yesterday?
It was the Outlaw Award.
All right, check that out. I think it was like the Rod Emory Outlaw Award.
Yeah, but it was called the Rod Emory Outlaw Award. But I'm not always looking to slam my name everywhere.
I'm just messing with you. We already asked you your favorite car, favorite drive, favorite song, unless it's changed.
My
changes day
favorite.
by day.
It does. It depends on the mood, depends on what car I'm in,
Okay.
depends on where I'm going, and what tunes are cranking in the radio.
That's cool. So where are we going to see you next? So we're actually going to California in a couple of weeks, but after he found out, he's decided to go on vacation.
Switzerland,
So
it's not really vacation,
isn't that
but
interesting? Yeah, right. So where are you going? Where are we meeting next?
the next major event that I'll be at will be Luftgekühlt, which is the air-cooled event that Patrick Long puts on in Southern California. That's a Porsche, air-cooled Porsche-centric event that anywhere from 750 to 1,000 cars. So it's an event you've got to be at. It's May 11th in Southern California. Probably the premier Porsche event in the world. It's really amazing. So I'll be at that.
Okay.
After that,
I thought the premier Porsche event to be at was at your dad's place.
oh, you're talking about the Porsche camp out? Yeah. Well, that's the most low key, fun, and that's a great event. We put that on 19 times. We're doing our next Emory Porsche camp out at my place in McMinnville, Oregon in 2020.
Okay.
So,
All right. Stay tuned for that. But we'll post any links in the article as well. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, it's just always good to see you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for spending time once again with us.
Thank
Cool
you.
guy. This guy is the cool guy.
Thank you.
All right. And now we're going to interview his wife, Amy.